Welcome to Linkronicity, where your journey and destiny link. I'm Stacey Kumagari, Linkologist, and I'm here to help you link your life. How are you, lovely souls? How are you doing? How are you feeling? How are you navigating all of this change that we're experiencing? Can you believe we're like in the last the last leg of 2022? It's gone by both slowly and fast, but it's a lot of energy, and I know you're feeling it. And hence I was called upon, all of you, the collective, to come back for another healing time out to explain some things that are going on. And more importantly, Spirit wanted me to kind of prepare you for what's going to be happening in fourth quarter of 2022. So I'm doing this as an early channel to help you prepare, help you get clear, and help you really sift through some of the energies we're going to be experiencing in the crossroads of eclipse season. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with eclipse seasons, let me kind of give you an elementary pedestrian 101 overview. Eclipse seasons happen every single year. We have them. They vary at different times of the year. There's a lot of different signs that they go through. A lot of the energies change and shift depending on what planets are in retrograde and what is creating a trine or which are conjunct and all of these things. But very simply put, we have solar eclipses and we have lunar eclipses. So solar eclipses, obviously, when the sun gets the shadow. Lunar eclipses, obviously, when the moon gets the shadow. And they affect our entire planet energetically. And for those of you who are going like, that's so out there, like, what does that even mean? Well, let me put it to you in some real life educational space here for you to understand how this is actually affecting our planet. Take a look at the news right now. We are experiencing drought and flood. Coincidence? Accident? No, not. Because just as much as we have solar and lunar, the sun and the moon, which are kind of opposite, right? We are dealing with the extremes of drought and flood. Well, even more ironic, and not an accident, but even more timely, divine timely, is that we are experiencing this as we're going through all of these shifts and changes, because the two signs that are affected with the upcoming partial solar eclipse and the upcoming total lunar eclipse are Taurus and Scorpio. What is Taurus? Taurus is an earth sign. That's planet Earth. What is Scorpio? It's a water sign. We're dealing with emotions. Earth, water. Earth and water. So what are we seeing in earth and water? We're seeing droughts and we're seeing floods. Total, and they're fixed, right? Not an accident, fixed. Happening for purpose, happening for reason. Tragically, sadly, but happening for reason, because it's pushing our planet into a place where humanity has to get out of the gray area and deal with the contrast of the solar and the lunar eclipse, the light and the dark energies of making decisions, creating change, coming up with solutions, doing preparation, handling a crisis and an aftermath, dealing with displaced humans, dealing with the Earth's major global predicament. How do we deal with that? So I wanted to put it into some 3D earthly human context so you kind of understand what's going on. This isn't some hippy-dippy-trippy, like woo-woo kind of anything. I mean, we have a planet. We have a sun. We have a moon. We have other planets. We have the stars. We have energy. Everything's energy. And every human on this planet is energy. Every animal on this planet is energy. Every piece of nature, plant life, right? Energy, the ocean, land, all of its energy. And if we deal with all these energies, we get to see how we shift and navigate that shift and deal with the change. So now I'm going to get into the cosmos part of it. We have an upcoming partial solar eclipse happening on October 25th. 25, 2 and 5 is 7, which is a seeker energy, but we can't forget that's happening October, which is a 1 energy, because 1 and 0, 10th month, right? So that's 8. Very important partial solar eclipse, because it's got an 8 energy. And the 8 energy of 10 plus the 2 and the 5, okay, we're dealing with the 8. That's infinite change. That's going to be happening. But here's the key. It's a partial solar eclipse. It's not a total solar eclipse. So the beautiful thing with that is it's kind of helpful for us because it's partial, which means there's still some light there. It's not a total covering of the sun. So we have a little bit of light there to kind of help us see what we need to still work on, what we still need to change, what we need to prepare for, what actions, what must we take, what things do we still need to work through and heal and help and, strategize for. So whether you're a person or a business, whatever, whatever context you want to apply this in, but let's apply it to all of humanity right now. We're going to be having to look at infinite change. Okay, so as we're dealing, with the infinite change, we have a little bit of light left to still take a look at it, to look at the gray matter, which is why it's a partial. Total eclipse is the dark energy. Full no eclipse is the full light. So if we have a partial, we're dealing with gray matter. So we have to be looking at the gray matter of life, of our communications, of our ways of showing up in the world, the ways that we're doing business, the ways that we are communicating, the ways that we're having clarity in said communication with authenticity from the truth that we excavated from our Inner Healing 2.0 series, parts 1 through 4. And of course, if you didn't do the homework there, I will put the links below so you can do a binge watch, catch up, and do journal prompts, because whatever you excavated in parts 1 through 4, whatever your own personal or professional journal prompts brought up in that Inner Healing series is what you are going to be looking at as your gray matter. So what did you change? What did you resolve? What did you ignore? What did you sweep under the rug? Whatever you did communicatively with your own truth to yourself as a human is the gray matter we're going to be seeing October 25th as we shift and navigate these changes as to what still needs to be worked on. And that's going to help you really see what matters to you. So if you are a business navigating fourth quarter, dealing with your early holiday season, which I know you're all doing right now. You're preparing for, your early holiday, end of year inventories and stuff, because, 2023 is coming. So you're trying to work with all of that. As you're dealing with that, you're going to also have to come to grips with reality of where you are. Where did you overthink? Where did you overplan? Where did you not plan enough? What numbers did you not look at? How did you predict things? Did you miss the mark? Were you right on point? Looking at all of the things from a business perspective, you're going to be having to look at that really, really closely, and it's going to bring a lot to light by October 25th. You're going to also have to look at this as an individual person. What's resonating with you? What's not resonating with you? What your morals, your values, your moral compass is going to be asking you to look at, principle-wise, communications-wise. Are you really creating a lot of hype for what? What's your purpose? What's your mission? Are you clarified in said mission? Are you looking at the transparency? Are you looking at your own truth? How authentic is it based on the truth that you excavated from your Inner Healing series? What is it that you see? Are you dealing with an old sense of self? Or are you embracing the new sense of opportunity and change? October 25th, we still have a little bit of light with the partial solar eclipse, kind of shining a little bit of light on that. You may be squinting through said light. You may be going, okay, I guess I still need to look at that, or I still need to work through that. That's what the opportunity is for. If you're clear, if you did the work, in the Inner Healing Series 2.0. If you did all the excavation, you did the reflection, you put in the effort, you came to your own truth, you really were honest with yourself, you examined what that was, you're not going to have the gray matter period in the 4D. You're not. It's going to be more clear, and it's going to be 5D, 3D, and your 4D is going to be a little bit more clear because you've come to terms with what your truth is. And great, congratulations, that's beautiful. That's the kind of the position you want to be in. But I'm doing this healing timeout now for those of you who are kind of lazy about it or poo-pooed it, and you said, now's your last chance. Do it. Otherwise, you're going to feel dragged through it when the lunar eclipse, total lunar eclipse happens. So, solar eclipse energy, 8 energy, because we're dealing with the October and we're dealing with the 2 and the 5, right? Which is also, if you merge it with 2022, which is a 14 energy, which is really a 5, which is a 5 energy of change. That's what 5s are. 5s are all about change. Okay, so October, you're going to be feeling what you did or didn't do and how it's going to affect said change. November 7th and 8th, depending on where you are, Northern Hemisphere, Southern Hemisphere, is when we're going to be experiencing the lunar eclipse. Now, the lunar eclipse is a total lunar eclipse, which means there is total darkness. And we are going to be dealing with our emotions in that. Because, we're going to be going through Scorpio season, which is all about our emotional energy, how we're emotionally attached to said outcomes, how we're emotionally attached to the plans you've laid, how you're emotionally attached to what it is you excavated and did or did not address. You're going to be dealing with all of that energy, feeling that energy. So if you're a business, you're going to be looking at it from a reality perspective. And if you're an individual, you're also going to be looking at it from a reality perspective and how you're projecting all of that into your control factor of your life. Why is this important to look at now? Well, as we're dealing with the solar and the lunar eclipse, we're dealing with the Taurus energy of the earth and the Scorpio energy of the emotion. As we're experiencing things like the drought and the flooding, which is happening through monsoon seasons and various storms which are going to be happening, things that are still happening right now, early. Okay, we're going to be looking at all of that and how that kind of affects everything. If you're a business, you're going to be looking at transportation and supply chain issues, and you're going to be dealing with all those things based on the numbers and whatever work you did not clean up in your projections, in your overshooting, in your underestimating, in your planning, in your crisis communications, and all of that. That's how it's going to be affecting that plane for you. Personally, a lot of you may be feeling that as you're navigating, shifting through your holiday season. Those of you who've lost a lot of people these past couple of years through this pandemic, holidays are hard. And it doesn't matter how much time has passed, holidays are hard for a lot of people. So as you're going to be navigating those emotions, you're going to be looking at that. If you're a business, you might be navigating that too. Maybe you lost a lot of employees, through death, illness, all of that, or even just through layoffs and streamlining and downsizing. You may have dealt with that as well. Regardless how you're dealing with said loss, because you may be feeling the pain of said loss, not just emotionally, but even like on a greater level of appreciation and gratitude, and not taking people for granted and really underestimating the value of the contributions people made. All of that's going to be brought into the light in the lunar eclipse season, as we have just a little bit of time, maybe a month, 6 weeks left of the year, to really take a good look at it before you head into 2023. All of these emotions are going to be excavated. All of these energies are going to be helping you really look at all of your manifestations, looking at the reality of your day-to-day, looking at the reality of how you show up as a business, as a person, how you're going to be working with personal and professional energies, and your emotions through it, and your communications through it, because everything is affected. So if you're trying to work things the old way, with the old hype, with the old methods of coping, escapism, whatever it is, not going to work for you. I'm just going to be really transparent. It's not going to work for you. You can't do that. You have to navigate with said change and do the real work this time. It's going to be really, really important now more than ever to do that real work this time, to really be truthful and authentic with that. Because we can't have people going through the motions anymore. Our world is shifting and changing. You're going to have a lot of choices to make. And some of the choices are very black and white, but if you haven't dealt with all the other stuff and you've got a lot of gray matter here, you're going to be navigating that as well. Some of you are going to be unsure based on the communications you're receiving. So let's just say we've got new vaccines coming, right? Fourth quarter, not an accident either. If you haven't come to terms with what's going on in the world, where your health is, what's happening, your choice making, conscious choice making of the decisions you're going to be making out of respect to yourself and others, and being mindful and proactive and whatever, your choices are going to be affected this way too. We've got an election coming. We've got a lot of those things that are going to be coming into light as well. Things that you're either exploring, educating, researching, understanding, believing, not believing, based on your truth, whatever truth narratives are coming out, you're going to be navigating that as well, and how that's going to be affecting you in your daily life, and how you're living, and where you live, and what you do, and how you're going to be able to have choices, and how that it may affect your human rights, how that may be affecting a lot of the conscious choice making that you want to be doing. So a lot of things we're going to be exploring in our world are really going to be reflective upon this time, and it's not child's play. We all have to put on our adult big pants and shoes and kind of like really come to terms with a lot of these things that are going to be shown to us in our truth. And some things are not going to be looked at through kind eyes. We're going to be having to really take a look and go, oh, that truth isn't so pretty. So that's where you say, well, what can I do about it? And in the 2023 Seven Secret Education Information Year, you're going to have to sift through more truths. You're going to have to actually participate in said truth with yourself and with your community and with where you are and how you move forward, personally, professionally, and what that really looks like. So I know it's a lot. I've unpacked a lot. I hope that all of this is helping you understand what we're headed toward. And I really was just called upon the collective to come here early to show you what's possible, what things that you can still work with, where you can actually make proactive change in your life, what you can learn and understand, how you can grow, and how you can assess and make more highly evolved conscious choices based on the work that you are doing, based on what truths you are uncovering through your own excavation process and your transformation and your growth, since we're all works in progress, and how we really can kind of collectively bring all of this energy together to work together in terms of making the world a better place, the best that we can with the information we're uncovering, and more importantly, the truth we speak to ourselves and outward. That's the bottom line. So, lovely souls, prepare yourself. Do as much as you can to ground yourself. That's going to help you navigate the emotions. Stay very rooted and in balance. Make sure you get plenty of sleep. If you have to purge any of these energies, do so through meditation, through journaling, whatever you need to do, taking care of yourself, taking care of all of your loved ones and each other, and also being very honest as you move forward. I know a lot of people embrace change. A lot of people don't like things to change in this kind of upheaval. But regardless of whatever you feel and think, we're going to be going through it. And my sole purpose and intent is to really just prepare you, help you work with the energies productively, and remind you that you have ways that you can manage your self-care and manage your communication and manage your groundedness and balance with it, as long as you're being authentic with what it is that you are uncovering, and having compassion at the end of the day and gratitude at the end of the day for what it is that you're learning, and applying that understanding to others who are still going through the process as well, and maybe going at it at a different pace than you. It's okay. lovely souls. We just need to be very aware, more self-aware and more consciously aware of the world that we're living in and the people we live in that world with. So I hope that helps you, lovely souls. I'm Stacey Kumagai, your linkologist, here to help you link your life. Be sure to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Linkronicity, blogspot.com, and if you need a custom coaching session, I'm doing a 12-week preparation series for 2023. If you want to get in on that, please go to linkronicity.com and email me through my form, and we can set up a consultation and get you prepared and start it now, really, on your 2023 work for custom coaching sessions. In the meantime, I hope that you have a balanced eclipse season, that you are good to yourself and you are good to one another and you're gentle in the process. And I hope that you feel the love and light and gratitude coming from my heart. And I hope that you have a beautiful, wonderful rest of the day and year. Namaste.